And going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Black Hollywood Live on BHL, Geek Nerd Tech. I messed that up.
We can start over.
Let's do it.
All right. And going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Geek Nerd Tech on Black Hollywood Live. Today, Apple Watch has some problems. Amazon's looking into a Google Glass type thing, and Google says the reports of an AI apocalypse are greatly exaggerated. Let's go.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live's Geek Nerd Tech.
You on this yet? It's Rick Ross, baby. This is some Asher.
I'm not knowing. I don't know anything these days. Welcome to Geek Nerd Tech, the show we break down tech news, nerd culture from a black and brown geek perspective. I'm Joe Braswell. Join us, as always, put me up on game on the latest hip-hop of today is Achilles Shine. What's happening?
Indeed, man. Chilling, man.
So, what are we listening to now? Is this new Rick
it's
Ross?
New Rick Ross jumping shit, man. This some smashers on this one.
Okay.
I love it.
I mean, Rick Ross has got at least, I don't know. Ross is kind of prolific, by the way. He puts out like 2 or 3 albums a year.
Oh yeah, he's very consistent.
After I look up, he's dropping a new 15 songs are out. I can't keep up.
Exactly.
But he's usually got about a minimum 5 to 8 smashers on an album.
Definitely. I mean, the orchestration. He has strong production.
Yeah.
Good lyrical content. He's got great, visuals in his music videos.
Yeah.
I think all around package and consistent throughout the years.
And what do you think about his whole situation in terms of like his? He does a very similar thing where he gets he make it like between 2 and 6 producers and lock them in the basement and just have them come up with beats. And
I think that's the best approach for creating.
And he makes no balls about it. It's not like he's trying to make
Get in that dungeon.
Yeah.
Beast it out.
He's got an Xbox down there with every game and food, with everything, a refrigerator. You just can't leave.
Yeah, don't come back up until you got that heat.
So I don't know. Okay, well, it seems to be working out for him.
Yeah, man.
No complaints. No complaints,
man.
Lots to talk about. We had the Emmys go pass by, which I thought were very interesting. I want to talk to you about that.
Okay, let's roll.
And then we have some news from Apple, regrettably, especially about the Apple Watch, and and some other things to talk about. But let's first get into the iOS 11, which kind of launched. And have you got a chance to mess with it at all yet?
No, I haven't even updated it yet. I know it came out today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably do it later on tonight.
Okay.
But I mean, great. Another update. It got some cool things that you could do. With the home screen stuff. I like that. I like the thing that they're doing with the iPad with a different type of gesturing and how you can shift apps and organize them and the different multitasking elements that you're able to do with it. I think that's kind of cool. I do think that, especially with when you talk about going to like the control center and going into the different settings of your phone or the notifications, that be able to have I guess the design of it more user friendly, where you don't have to like go through so many steps. And it's just more like just place.
Swiping up, swiping left, pull from the diagonal side of the screen to get that's all crazy.
So I think that's good. What do you think?
I think it looks good to me in theory. What I wonder is, I remember when they switched the trackpads on the MacBooks. Yeah. And they got rid of the home button on that, and they made it on one pad. But they also added a bunch of crazy new gestures. And maybe I'm not much of a computer user as I should be, but like, I never really got into all those gestures. I felt like a whole new language. I felt like I had to learn sign language.
Right.
There's a whole book of like, use one finger and your pinky and do a circular motion that gets you back to the home screen. Use your elbow that gets you on Facebook. Like, did you know all that stuff?
Yeah,
though, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's, so I'm saying all that to say that's the way they're going with the iPhone and the iPad, especially with the lack of the home button. There's a lot of gestures and things you have to know. Do you like this? Do you think this is too complicated? Do you think this is good? What do you think?
I don't think it's complicated. It's just you have to adapt to it. We talked about this last week. It's like learning a language. And so you get used to doing something one way, and then you kind of have to like deconstruct that and then do something different. So I think just the adaptation of that might be frustrating for some, or it might be kind of laborious for some, but I mean, in time, like it'll be just a part of you. It'll be a part of your physicality. So
I wonder when new stuff comes along, and I hate, you know, that's where I definitely feel old. Like, what? I can't use the button. Now I've got to use my fingers. You know.
Right.
I don't know. I don't want to be the old guy, but that's kind of how I feel a little bit. Well, I got some news for you, Keely. Apple has something to tell us. They sheepishly want us to know that there may be a few tiny problems with the Apple Watch LTE system. The handoff from the phone to the watch isn't quite working right, and they just want to know.
Bruh, have I been wrong about Apple since we've been on this podcast?
Oh no!
Like, how do you have such an epic fail like this? This is like one of your flagship launches at your keynote, and when it's about to release in a couple days, it's problematic, has issues, it's bugs, and that it's so devastating that you have to get ahead of it. Because I mean, it's not the first time products have had bugs.
Right.
Like Apple's had launches where stuff wasn't perfectly ready to go out the box. But this is huge. Like, hey, you could use your watch without your phone.
Yeah.
Well, can I?
This is the main functionality they've been taking in the middle of Lake Tahoe. They had you can streaming 4 million songs from your phone, from your wrist.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll get it together, but come on, this is not Apple. This is not what we know Apple to be. This is not brand Apple. This is something different.
Yeah, I wonder how much of this is just, as usual, them kind of rushing something out, or how much of this is, because it's almost like movie studios do. You put a release date and then you make the movie. Like, Spider-Man 3 is on June 3rd,
right?
2020.
Hurry up.
You gotta make the movie. You know? So I mean, is that a case of this, or is this just a case of like it's harder to do these things these days because you got a lot more moving parts. I mean, literally and figuratively.
I mean, I think whenever you're talking about like scaling a product launch, or you're talking about millions of people could potentially buy this, like you said, there's so many things that could go wrong, and we're talking about technology. Technology is not foolproof. Like there's always going to be bugs and things that have to be tweaked and worked on and worked out. And so, but like the main selling point though, that's huge.
Right. Yeah. Well, so I was like, I'm getting it first. Apple Watch, they sold me. Now I have to wait again to see if it smooths out, the bugs smooth out. Or whatever.
You're gonna be waiting until the Apple 5 watch comes.
Come on, I was ready. They have me.
Oh man.
Dang. All right. So listen, Google. I'm gonna switch over to Google. Google, the head of Google, John Giandrea.
I can't stand you with these names.
I cannot.
Go for it.
Is firing shots at Elon Musk over Elon Musk's electric-driven bowel, if you will. He's saying that all this AI talk, all this AI apocalypse, don't stop, watch out what you're doing because the AI is going to get us. All this Skynet, Matrix BS is overblown, and all the doomsday scenarios are overblown, and everybody needs to just relax. And he sided with Mark Zuckerberg on this. Him and Zuck was saying like, "Come on, Elon, relax," and he's saying, "Yeah, Elon, relax." I mean, first of all, obviously Google has a dog in this fight as they're getting their Google Assist. They're really banking heavily on AI as is Apple and Amazon and a few others. But what do you think of this? Is this just sort of protecting your own brand, or is Elon really just shouting in the wind here?
No, Elon is not shouting in the ether. I feel like what he's saying, people have been saying for decades. Science fiction, technologists, futurists. All these people have been saying this, warning of the singularity, the moment where our technology becomes smarter than us and becomes so smart that it's able to recreate itself. Like that, those are things that will happen. That's something to be concerned about. Like I stand on the side of Elon Musk on this. I don't think where we are now in 2017, the concern flag needs to be raised that high, but. Right. I think it's worthy of us having these discussions because as we continue to make it better and improve upon it, and we enhance it and we innovate it, we have to be mindful of like if it gets in the wrong hands or if it's programmed the wrong way. Like those are major concerns. Like how could they not be?
Yeah, I don't know. It's anytime you have someone who is so blatantly like, nothing to see here. That could never happen. Right. Then I'm like, wait a minute.
Exactly.
You don't think it's a little chance? You're like, So yeah, I side with Musk on this one. It'd be more credible if they say, you know, there's some things that could happen, but we at Google are putting safeguards in to making sure that doesn't happen. They'll be like, nah,
Right, exactly.
never.
Right.
So I don't know. That to me like ruins your credibility.
Definitely.
But we'll see. You know, speaking of Google, they're also doing Google.org is launching $5 million innovation fund to counteract hate and extremism, which I get. I don't know how much of this again is a PR thing that we sort of have to do in response to what's been happening with the recruitment of folks in Charlottesville and other places, or if this is something Google generally is trying to combat. And I'm always dubious by the amount of money, because they're really making a move. $5 million doesn't like a lot of money. So I don't know. What do you think it is?
I mean, the amount doesn't really move me in a certain way, because I mean it's Google. They had tons of money.
Yeah,
so I mean, $5 million is a great number for seed.
Right.
You know, for a start, for a launch. And I think we talk about it relentlessly on the show about, you know, corporate responsibility and having, you know, a stronger moral backbone as it relates to, you know, your audience and consumers and users. And I like the fact that Google's putting money where their mouth is. Like, hey, these are things that sway culture, that sway politics, that sway elections, like that, you know, cause people to do violence and have certain mentalities against other people. So to be able to have more support, to be able to figure out, you know, a way to kind of, you know, improve that or, you know, eliminate that, I think is good. And I like that. I applaud that.
Well, I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but yeah, I applaud it too, but I don't know what the line is. I don't know if you're really going to try to make some change and say this is a problem and we at Google are going to really do something about it. What is the line to be able to say, I don't know, like, so therefore we are, you know, spending $100 million, or is it? I mean, what is it? Is it really? I guess it's best doing something is better than doing nothing. But at that level, I get suspicious about what is a PR move.
I mean, so let me make sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying because the amount is so minimal, you're like, well, what's the next step beyond that? Like that just seems like a drop in the bucket. That's what you're saying?
I get. I mean, it's really. I'm not being fair because look, they're doing something. They're pledging $5 million to start this fund, which it's just a lot. That's not nothing.
Right.
But it's almost feels just, you know, given who it's from, it just feels like a, you know.
So you feel like it could be more, is what you're saying.
I mean, Bill Maher gave $1 million of his own personal money to Obama, and Google's given $5 million to This is that kind of stuff.
I understand. I can see that.
Right.
I mean, you know, you said it yourself. Some is better than nothing, and so who knows? You know, if this is just one step of many. Who knows if they? You know, they've already donated money before for this specific, you know, cause, and so the fact that they're doing it within their own infrastructure, I think, is interesting. I would hope that they would continue to do it, that it's not like a one-stop thing. So we'll see.
Right, makes sense. So Google, I mean, so I'll switch over to Twitter. You know, Twitter was trying to allegedly had a bug in their system that allowed marketers to target people who had an affinity towards some words like wetback or Nazi or nigger. So, what this allowed not only corporations but certain people to target, you know, people who like to use those words. Now, Twitter claims that they fixed this,
Right.
But this is interesting. Is it more along the lines of, how do you view this? Do you view this as like, wow, Twitter sees how people are exploiting holes in their system to recruit and target and spread hate, or is it like, so they're doing something about it, or is it, you know, more along the lines of Twitter fucked up and they're covering their ass? I mean, I don't know. What do you?
I mean, I think all this is a part of the evolution of things. So how people are engaging on these platforms, like people, I mean, it's a learned type of experience. So like we decades before, we didn't communicate like this.
Right.
So I feel like I wouldn't be so harsh to say that they effed up, you know, but I will say that no one wants to be aligned with anything that is negative or full of, you know, just hate and disrespectful languaging.
Right.
Like, so I think to be able to have the know-how, the technological know-how to fix it and to be able to make it so that we don't have these bugs happen anymore, I think that's good. That's what needs to happen, because, I mean, kind of what we were talking about before with Google, like we want to be able to hop on these platforms and still feel safe and make sure that our children are safe and that we don't have people, you know, influencing us or disrespecting us, demeaning us in whatever way they see fit. So these type of euphemism, racial epithets, like they should be eliminated. Sure. And so, I mean, I'm glad that they're doing something about it. They're being proactive about it.
Okay.
So do you feel like it's more on the latter, like they messed up and it's more reactionary?
I can't really. I don't. Guess it doesn't matter. It's sort of a chicken egg thing. I mean, it's good that this is happening and they're getting to the bottom of these sort of things at all. But like, it just makes you wonder when you think of like Facebook, how not only advertisers but Russia and bad actors and hackers are able to exploit Facebook. And, you can exploit basically the porous holes in Facebook's system in order to use Facebook as a tool to shift our elections. Yeah. And Facebook was just kind of like, hey, I don't know. We're just, we're out there. We're just providing a service. And now they're cracking down on that. And same with Twitter. People were able to sort of go in and exploit some of these things and target people who like these words and then go out and target them. And Google's the same thing. I don't know. It just makes you wonder about how genuine. I guess I can't take like this. I guess I want to know like how if you cared so much about it, why was it so exploitable in the first place?
But everything can be exploitable,
right?
Even if you put up the walls and precautions and all the things that will protect the integrity of whatever you're building, it's still exploitable. Yeah, someone's going to figure out a way. Exactly. So and then you'll adapt,
right?
And that's what's happening.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, that's fair. Speaking of that, Facebook. A couple things have happened on Facebook. Facebook finally. Not finally, but Facebook, gave all the Russian ad data over to Mueller, Robert Mueller in his investigation against Russia, Special Counsel Mueller. They gave all their ad data. In other words, all the people who bought all this space to, from Russia to buy these negative ads in these specific markets, they have all that data now to analyze that and sort of see where that came from and how. And it's also in that they found out that fake news that Russia put out could have reached 70 million Americans. I mean,
it's crazy.
It's a Russian-funded covert propaganda, campaign that was like no joke. It was like a minimum 23 million people, maximum 70 million. It's crazy, and it's real. And it's just, when you think about that in those terms, it's scary. And I think all the time, back in the election when so many times I read it on Facebook. I heard it on Facebook. I read it on Facebook.
Exactly.
Without sourcing this, because Facebook is not a source.
Right.
Sourcing it. All this is amazing, but I'm very, very happy that Facebook is cooperating. And giving us that information over. So, do you think this is going to help? And Mueller seems to be doing a really good job. He's making a case right now.
Man, he's collecting. He's collecting. He's the bone collector right now.
I mean, he better. I mean, Trump better have him launch that attack on North Korea before the hammer drops.
Man,
I don't mean that.
I mean, I think that just the sophistication of this. Propaganda was pretty amazing. Like they spent about $100K on these buys, and the virality of one of their posts. So say I say something that's completely just crazy, salacious, and people buy into it and they share it and they like it, and now it's been liked 1 million times, and I only bought it for like a couple bucks. Like, and so then you do that, so you add more fuel to that, and that's what they did, and that's crazy that. That's just crazy that happened. And like you said, almost 70 plus million people saw it, engaged with it. Yeah. Like, I think that you're right. It is good that Facebook is kind of like owning up to it and being cooperative. But I do think a lot of that is because they had a warrant for it. Yeah. Because even I think I read that when Facebook had I guess a meeting with the House and Senate, they didn't give all the information.
No, Facebook did not give the information to the intelligence committees.
Right, that's what it was. Intelligence committees.
Yeah. And so, but they are now. I mean, this is crazy. I don't know what this says. I mean, I'm really zooming out from this. I mean, this really not only says a lot about our, obviously our corruptible system and electoral college and the people how we receive information, but like it's a big shout out to Facebook. Like this, it's not that 70 million people, like they targeted Facebook and reached 70 million people. You couldn't do this 5 years ago.
Oh no,
you couldn't do this last election.
Not reaching that many people.
You could if Russia decided they were going to tamper their elections via Facebook. they couldn't reach 70 million people. Facebook is just the growth of Facebook is really, it's interesting. And this
last election they could have. Facebook was still up there, but
well, that's true. But I mean, I guess in 2012 they could have. Maybe not in 2008.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely in 2012. Interesting stuff and a little scary, but we'll see how this whole thing plays out. So we talked a lot about the Google Glass experiment by Google and what they were and how that worked out and the failure of it and the why. There's a lot of talk about Snapchat and the new Snap glasses, and they're a camera company now and they're doing some stuff. But very quietly, Amazon is working on an Alexa-enabled smart glasses, and they want these to be like normal-looking glasses, like not goofy, not with a little cyborg RoboCop thing on your eye, or not goofy Snap, just regular old glasses. And it will be audio only. With no screen or camera, so it's I guess she's in your ear, right? Alexa, tell me XYZ. Alexa's like in your ear, like an IFB, or like Tony Hale to Julie Louis-Dreyfus in Veep, like in the ear. Right. That's Councilman so and so. So I don't know. I kind of like it. I guess the distraction of the camera or the augmented reality situation is different, but having Alexa in your ear might be kind of fly. What do you think of this?
I don't know. I don't really see it. I think it's kind of gimmicky. Okay. But I wouldn't shut it down completely. Amazon is definitely on the innovative side right now, or at least they've done so with the Home Assistant, devices, and so the Echo and whatnot. And so I think that maybe an accompaniment to that, this could be useful, but I don't see it as something that I would be like, oh, I got to get the glasses. Right. Like, I have to have them.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless like they're extremely, cost effective, and they have to offer a little bit more than me being able to interact with Alexa and ask questions or whatever. Like, what else can I do with them? Like,
Yeah, I mean, but I guess all of the thing that you have, all the things you have with Alexa at your house, is it really as your voice, is the same thing you'll be able to have there. So awesome. Alexa, tell me what time does this movie start? Alexa, what's the capital of so and so? Alexa,
great.
What year did Public Enemy come out with Fight the Power? Alexa,
I could do that with Siri.
I know, but it's all. But it could be good for cheating.
Be on your test, like Alexa, what is 5 plus 5?
I mean,
that's kind of funny.
Yeah. All right. New thing: Budweiser is teaming up with Lyft to give 150,000 free round trip rides to help people, get home safely over the holidays. And it seems to be in a direct shots fired at Uber, who's teaming up with Budweiser. And they're not teaming up with Budweiser, but like Uber, the ad said, Uber will help you deliver your Budweiser, and we'll help you get home safely afterwards. I mean, let's make a lot of little tiny moves to sort of get into Uber. I mean, what do you think of this move?
Uber or Lyft?
Lyft is making these moves to get to sort of damage Uber's market share.
Yeah, I mean they have to. Yeah. Like they're going to stay relevant. Because Uber is more of a global force. And this, it's part of lexicon. People don't say, Lyft, the Lyft of something. They say it's the Uber of something. Like, it's a part of our language. So, I think in terms of their brand visibility, like, they have to be able to make these partnerships and do things that are innovative. And clearly they're on the right path. They've teamed up with Google, and now teaming up with, something that's completely different. I think it promotes safety. It promotes, being responsible, like all good things to be aligned with,
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more. I think the Uber's they've had a PR nightmare for the last 2 years, and they're trying to turn things around. But in the meantime, this is Lyft better make up this ground.
Yeah,
so whether they can or won't.
Yeah.
The Emmys were on Sunday. And a lot of things happened. I mean, we had 6 people make history. We had the most sort of people of color nominated. Although it still looked very white in the crowd, but I guess we'll take it. They kept showing it's all about diversity. They kept showing the crowd. The crowd was white, but really good. Especially, it was really good to see my girl Lena Rafe. Win that award for Master of None for Thanksgiving. I remember watching the episode in watching the episode and then, having a real strong reaction to it and telling Lola to watch it and telling people to watch it. And I'm really glad she won. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Emmys and the wins, and how are you feeling?
I mean, I agree with you. I think in terms of, visibility, I think it's great for us people of color. And Sterling Brown's my boy, my guy. I'm glad that he won. This Is Us is an amazing piece of work.
Yeah.
And his role in that, like, he deserved it, without question.
Yeah.
The fact that it's almost, was it back-to-back, I believe?
No, he won the Golden Globes, I think. Wait.
Didn't he win something for?
Oh no, yeah, he won. He won
something for.
He won
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was back to back. Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, he's hot. Let's get it. Let's eat. I love that Aziz won. Obviously, Donald Glover with Atlanta.
How do you feel about Donald Glover? The irony of Donald Glover winning the best director, when his boy and partner, I forget my man's name, but he directed all those episodes except for like one, and that was the one they picked, and it was Donald Glover. So it'd be like if you and I worked on something, and you direct 10 episodes, and I direct one. They'd be like, I got the Emmy.
All it takes is one, bro. All it takes is one.
I mean, Glover did in the speech did thank him and said like he taught me how to direct. I couldn't. This is why I'm going to give this award to you. This is ridiculous, but still, it's kind of like it just felt like Emmy really like read the name like, who is this? Somebody Yang? Nah, we didn't do that. Get the Glover.
Hey, that's plausible.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, I think overall it was great to just have the representation. And hey, a wonderful time to be a part of television.
It is.
Some really great properties, and just, seeing us, as writers, producers, directors, and actors, like we are really showing the world what we can do. And I love it. And I embrace it, and I want more of it, so it's great.
I want to ask you about the couple of these speeches and some of the controversy involved in the speeches. I mean, some people got long time. Nicole Kidman got like 3 minutes, and it was a very eloquent speech. Nicole's speech was great, and she shined on domestic violence. I think she earned that 6 minutes. I think, but Laura Dern they gave her a lot of time, and she kind of giggled and loved through the whole thing.
Yeah, they killed off Sterling.
It killed off Sterling. Although Sterling was kind of
he was swagging it a little too much. He was.
Swag.
He was.
Andre Brower held this joint. Pause.
Martin and Gina, Black Love
came back. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
But I mean, like he didn't let the clock tick off his time.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at him. But I thought my girl Lena Rafe, like her speech, talk about rising to the moment.
Yeah.
Not only for the first African American woman for this writing award, but just the whole LGBT thing. Like, she rose up. That speech was perfect. She like rose to the moment. She'd have a pause. It was almost
precise, baby.
Yeah, she was in there, and like I thought that was really
she
amazing.
Utilized her time. Yep. That's good.
And Aziz was just looking like a proud papa on the side, just grinning. I thought that was kind of cool. But what do you think about the disparity instead of like Donald Glover getting 56 seconds and Nicole Kidman getting 3 minutes?
I mean, I did notice the disparity, but I think a lot of that does just have to do with the flow and sequencing of the show. There are probably things that are organized to a T, and some things that unravel, and you have to kind of adjust. And so maybe you adjust on those speeches. But I mean, I'm not gonna be too hypercritical of that.
Yeah.
But I will say that I love that, and we see this often with award shows, just the highly politicized vocalizations that we get from the talent. And I like when people use the platform to kind of bring awareness to things. And so that's something that I always appreciate about art and artists, that hey, it's not just about consuming content and not just about even participating in it, but hey, use your platform as a way to educate people. And I like that the Emmys and sometimes the Oscars and the Grammys become that as a conduit for us. So
yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. I think that one of the things that I think is really interesting, I'm trying to find my mind's name right now, but one of the things that I think is really interesting is Hero, that's right, is both Atlanta and Master of None, which is have two, with Aziz and Donald Glover. Mm-hmm. For all the talk of diversity, and these are diverse shows, I feel like the Asians are still getting the short shrift here because, Donald Glover's partner is Hiro Murai, his Japanese American cat, like who's dope director, DP talented dude, and he gets no love, zero love. Like I said, the one episode that I think Donald directed 2, but he got recognized for. And also, Alan Yang is Aziz's partner,
right?
Who co-writes everything, directs stuff, and Aziz directs a lot too.
Right.
But I feel like Gang and Hero should go off and start their own show. They're getting the Flavor Flav treatment right now.
Oh man.
So I don't know. But but shouts out to both those shows.
Hey, I mean, like we're seeing more diversity, but we're not where we need to be.
Yeah, I agree. PS4 is going to do you a favor and
Do me no favors.
They're going to let you add the virtual reality goggles for the small price of $300. Thank you, PS4.
Right, exactly.
What do you my friend
Don't care.
My friend Robert just bought the whole shebang for like, I don't know how much he paid, but he bought the whole like PS4 bundle thing. He loves, but it's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of
Be
bread.
Be quiet. My man over here talking about I'm about to get the iPhone, the watch, I'm about to get the earbud. What are you talking about, man? This is no different.
I guess so, but like, I mean, I really want the whole PlayStation virtual reality situation. It does look fly, but like,
It does look fly. I will agree with that.
But that's a lot of money. What do you think?
Wait,
Yeah,
and
coming
wait.
down, right?
Exactly.
All right. Xbox One. Xbox One is really not making any. I mean, Xbox 10. Xbox One X, I should say. Xbox One, the One X. And I'm an Xbox dude and love Xbox, and I will probably hope get this situation. But I'm really also. What they're doing is they're going back and enhancing games, which I think that's kind of goofy.
Why? I mean, he's bringing it into a 4K environment, more frame rates,
great.
like more quality.
How about new games?
Right.
That's great.
No,
I already played Grand Theft Auto like 100 times.
Right.
Don't give me the enhanced version. That's the first thing. Second thing is, and they already did that shit with the Xbox 360. We got the Xbox One. They enhanced these versions, which is fine. So you can they got me for I don't know how many times for Halo, because I got the Halo anniversary with all the Halo games, all advanced. So they got me on those. But what I will say is, where's the virtual reality?
Hey.
Where's the VR?
Exactly.
Xbox. Like, they're not going to partner with Facebook or Oculus Rift. They're not going to do. I mean, PlayStation's had this joint for like 2 years now.
I know.
And this is coming out with no VR situation, 4K in a smaller box. What you going to try and tell me? Like,
hey, sounds like the Apple Watch.
I'm a little. Come on, Microsoft. I mean, I'm an Xbox loyalist, but they're really making me struggle here.
Hey, no, I hear you.
Last but not least, I guess the Marvel Netflix has the Punisher show coming out.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
I mean, I didn't know that was even in the works.
Oh, I knew that.
I don't know why I'm tripping on that, because I of course love John Barenthal, who's
killer.
So,
Killer.
That's it. But him having his own show, I mean,
it's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be dope. But what's he gonna be doing? Just machine gunning folks the whole show?
I mean, knocking cats out.
Roll credits.
Yeah.
Like, he's be taking. I don't know.
Taking them out, baby.
So yeah, I'll be interested to see what that show is and how it works out.
I think it's gonna be dope.
Do you think? I mean, Iron Fist. Do you think Iron Fist is gonna get season 2?
I hope not.
You straight up hope not.
I mean, out of all of them, it's the weakest.
It is the weakest, but does it deserve a season? Maybe can we?
I mean, but when we talk about Marvel, Disney pulling out, pause. I don't think that out of all of those, mini franchises, that one's going to shine. Or even have the bandwidth by the time it comes out. Like, that relationship's going to be severed.
I think Danny Rand was miscast. Is the problem with that thing. I think he's miscast. I feel like it's all about the casting. I mean, the show was terrible too, but the show wasn't as bad as everybody said it was. But
yeah, it wasn't terrible. But
I think it's just the lead.
Right.
Both the leads, him and the girl who plays the chick.
Right.
The girl who plays the chick, his sidekick. I can't remember her name, but all right. The Orville. If you got a chance to check out the Orville with some,
of course.
What do you got?
I mean,
did you check out just the pilot? Or check out the first 2.
I've only seen the pilot, and I saw the pilot, months back, and
that's right.
I was always kind of on the fence with it. Like, I get the homage to Star Trek, and I mean, I love Seth MacFarlane. I think he's a great writer. Yep. I think he's a great talent. Period. But I don't know, like it's not resonating. It never resonated with me. Yeah. And I think that, what this writer is saying, that it's kind of has to pick a direction. Like, are you a comedy? Are you a drama? Like, are you what are you? Like, and I know you're trying to be a combination of both, but I don't know if that's working. Like, And I mean, the pilot, there are some funny moments.
Yep.
I mean, and especially if you're a Star Trek fan, like it's some great things that it references, and it makes you. It's funny. It's funny, but I don't know if it has the. I'm using the same word again. The bandwidth to attract and keep audiences. Yeah. So.
I agree.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. I've got all kinds of. I'm just so confused by it for all those reasons. I don't know if it's supposed to be an homage or a parody, or if it's supposed to be. I know that Seth wanted to make his own very serious thing, and also, have serious stories, but also have humor. The tone is off because it's the Seth MacFarlane humor, which is very specific, right? And it's a little too. I don't know. It's just. The way his humor works, it feels like it's a parody within this serious thing. Right. So that's why the tone is off. Right. And also, I love Seth. I think he's an amazing talent. I mean, he can write, direct, produce. He can draw, animate, do 1,000 voices.
He's a musician. Exactly.
Musician, play instruments. I mean, this guy is beyond polymath.
Exactly.
He's incredible. But that being said, there's something about his. When I see him, and he's a good-looking dude. When I see him out there as an actor up front, I'm never buying it. Yeah. It's almost like you're too talented to not, and too good-looking to not be out there up front. But every time he's up front, I'm always like, yeah, he's not the guy. Yeah. He should be behind the camera. You look the part, but you're not the guy. So I have a problem with that. And then it's just this reminds me of what I thought about the Mummy, which I thought was terrible. But
oh, you saw it?
I did see the Mummy. It was.
Was it terrible?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, okay.
But it was the reason why I say it was terrible. It was terrible in the ways that it was just tonally off. It did not know. It really wanted to be this sort of like comedic, swashbuckling, like whoa. It wouldn't be like kind of funny, kind of like almost Indiana Jones in tone, but it wasn't. So it's a miss so hard on that because Cruise isn't. He's charming, but he's not that guy. Right. They have my man from New Girl who's funny. Jake, he's funny, but the tone was off there. Chemistry issues, and also the thing that killed that is just like this. That's why I draw the comparison. The main thing that killed it for me is just gigantically derivative. Right. Everything in that movie you've seen before. Yeah. I don't care if it's on a $1 billion scale or a $2 scale.
It's cliche.
I've seen it. Yeah. It's cliche and it's derivative. It's like every punch, every duck, every explosion. There's nothing in that movie that I haven't seen before. Including the plane crash scene, which is done in zero gravity, and it was great. There's some really crazy shit in there, but I was like bored. Damn. So I'm wondering the same thing because I feel like this is what's happening here. It's a lot of what I've seen before. The tone's off. You got a dynamic star. It's a lot of comparisons to me to this and the Mummy. Right now, this isn't as bad as the Mummy to me, but
hey, we'll see how it evolves. I mean, you should be coming in hitting them hard, but I don't know. I don't even know what the viewership is like. Yeah. But
16 million people watched that first one. So
okay, that's pretty high. 16 million?
Yeah, no, okay. Yeah. So the first one got. So Fox is already really the promos are already like join the 16 million others that think the Orville is the blah blah blah. So,
All right now. We'll see. Right. Hey, maybe it'll pick up some steam or sustain the steam.
Maybe. I think that's it. That's all I got.
What do you think about Jay-Z saying no to the Super Bowl? I think that's a huge statement.
Oh, wow! I didn't even know this.
Oh yeah, Super Bowl's like, hey Jay-Z, come perform for the halftime. Jay-Z's like, nah, bruh, y'all gotta change. Wow. What do you think?
That's fantastic.
I know, right?
That's great news.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just too much. He can't co-sign to the NFL, given where the NFL is, how it treats its players. All 31 of the 32 owners being like these crazy
Trump supporters.
Yeah. The Kaepernick situation.
Exactly.
Like he'd be very hypocritical for him to roll up.
100%.
And to that and Goodell didn't want him up there anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was surprised. I was like, wow, because he's going to be up there. I mean, Jay-Z he's earned that mantle.
Oh yeah.
So wow, he said no. That's great news.
I think that's powerful.
That's very powerful.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think ultimately he will end up doing it at some point, or do you think that was just kind of like?
I think everything always circles back. There's always the right timing, and I think he's the best at that. Like he's demonstrated, time and time again, how to assess a situation and make the best business decision. But I don't think this is just business. This is principle too. So I respect them for that, because it's like, man, like they're using you, Jay-Z, because they want to obviously attract, your audience to watch their games, and especially with all this hyper, politicized critique over what's happening with Kaepernick. It's like you kind of lost some of your viewership. You kind of lost some of your support, and it's still people are still like, no, change.
Yep.
Like that's their way of saying, okay, well, if Jay-Z comes, we'll bring more attention.
Yeah,
like that's come on, that play is so like easy to see. Like
easy from a mile away.
Thank you.
All we gotta do is black folks think we don't like him. Who's black? Jay-Z.
That's exactly right.
If we have Jay-Z, we can't be racist, right? So.
Get out of here with that.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, that's all I got. We will see how this all plays out. Where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Achilles Shine, AKILISHINE. And where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Joe K. Braswell, and here at BHL doing this next week with you. That's all I got. We'll see you very soon.
We out.
All right, bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.